Mhm. All right. Good morning. I am finally live here for sports. Now, it's been a while since I've done some sports commentary, and I just haven't had the time to talk about some major sporting events. Now that I'm here, I will go right into it. Okay. Just want to talk about first, I'll talk about some NFL. Now, I've seen some highlights of some games, and there are some games I want to discuss here. Now, let's start some teams I want to discuss. It looks like the Cowboys and the Dolphins are back to their winning ways since they got both their quarterbacks back. Dak Prescott came back for the Cowboys, and Tua Tagovailoa came back for the Dolphins, and they won both their games for Week 7. Whereas the Cowboys went on to beat Detroit, and Miami Dolphins went on to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. So both teams are back, it seems. Let's just adjust this camera a little bit here. There we go. It's a little bit better. Now, I just want to say that a lot of people, a lot of people have been watching some other teams. And I saw this game between San Francisco and Kansas City. And I thought San Francisco would win the game because they got Christian McCaffrey in the lineup from the Carolina Panthers. And I thought they would win that game. But Patrick Mahomes did what Patrick Mahomes did. He found ways to win, and they scored a lot of touchdowns, even though this is without Tyreek Hill, their player who now plays for the Miami Dolphins. And they won their game, and they scored a lot of offensive points. Kansas City, that is. So, I guess I will just say and accept the fact San Francisco has a long ways to go before reaching the levels of Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, now with that said, I'm going to just talk a little bit about Major League Baseball, because that's the main focus of this video, Major League Baseball. Now, Houston Astros, they went 7-0 during they're 7-0 in this postseason, and they look like a very dangerous team. I mean, so dangerous. They swept their opponents with ease. I think they're playing some team, and then in the wild card game, and they swept the Mariners 3-0, and they swept the Yankees. Now, I'll talk about the New York Yankees in a minute, but I want to talk a little bit about the Astros. They look like a very, very dangerous team, a complete elite team. And unless I'm mistaken, they're going to play the Philadelphia Phillies, who won their series against the San Diego Padres 4-1. But they struggled a little bit, and it will take a little bit of a miracle for Philadelphia Phillies to come back and win to beat Houston Astros. But I would say the Astros will take the World Series, either with another sweep or maybe 4-2 or 4-3 in that series. Because the Astros, they seem like a dangerous team. They're playing a flawless baseball with a lot of good pitching, solid defense, and an offense that can really, really come back. I guess the New York Yankees found that out. One of the games before with that sweep, they blanked the Yankees, and they caught to the Yankees in the fourth game, tying the game 3-3. So they got batters that can hit, and they have a lot of defensive offensive spark and firepower. It'll take the Phillies a miracle if they're gonna keep up with them and basically find ways to win, keep it a series. So it's going to be interesting to see what Philadelphia Phillies come up with. Now, as for the New York Yankees, I think maybe the injuries that they got during the postseason eventually caught up to them. Because I mean, they lost a lot of key players during the regular season, and those players that were substituting for the players that got injured, they couldn't really do much of anything or even generate much of an offense during this postseason, because they won one game in the wild card and eventually went on to play the Cleveland Guardians, who gave them a hell of a time. And I think maybe the Guardians exposed a lot of the Yankees' weaknesses when they played. The Yankees played before playing against the Houston Astros. And they just couldn't really muster any offense. They couldn't muster any sort of hitting strategy against the solid pitching of the Astros. And the Yankees, they couldn't. Their defense kind of lagged, and their pitching kind of lagged. It's not a very good bullpen they had during the postseason. Now, it'd be interesting to see what they do during this off season. Will they keep Aaron Judge or keep Aaron Boone as their manager? Now, I would say that they'll probably let Aaron Boone go and Aaron Judge go. But Aaron Judge seems like a solid player, and he'll be needed for the Yankees. They're going to go all the way. Now, if I were management, I'd probably keep Aaron Judge and maybe get rid of some of the managers within that organization. Because managements, they're the ones that choose all the players, and they do scouting reports on most players to see how they are and whether or not they'll be able to fit into an organization or a team. So that reveals a lot, not just with the players, but with the managers and that. But I would say you got to go up to the real top, the ownership, because that's where all the money is. That's where all the money is, and that's where most of the spending takes place regarding most players, and whether or not they're going to be able to get along with the other players, and whether or not the scouts they have selected or draft picks they've selected are good. And because, I mean, they want to strum up those contracts, and the contracts, they come with a lot of money. So the ownership, I would say the ownership and management, I think it was a problem with that. It's not just with the spending, but with all the major decisions that they've made as to what players can go on to play with the Yankees. And I would say maybe their selection of players during this postseason was not very good. The decisions regarding what players to use during the postseason were not very good for the New York Yankees. And that's something they'll have to sort out during this off season. And leading to next year, when the 2023 Major League Baseball season comes. Okay, all right. Now with that said, I'm going to see what else I can come up with here. But I would say the Astros look very solid. It'll take a miracle if the Philadelphia Phillies are going to beat them. Okay. All right. I was going to talk about this NBA stuff, but I think the news has already passed. And this NBA season is probably underway right now. Anyways, I'll go into that, see what I can come up with sports here. Give me a minute here. 1 minute. Okay. I said, okay. Get on to some NBA or maybe WNBA news. Now, as Brittany Griner, her appeal of a 9-year prison sentence has been denied. Now, I don't know what led them to deny her case, but I would say that, yeah, it's not looking good for Brittany Griner. It's not good for her. I would say it'd be pretty safe to say that it's not looking good for her. What was she thinking when she carried all these drugs, all these paraphernalia, whatever it is? I have no idea. But her appeal has been denied. It's not looking good for her. But when you go to a foreign country, you gotta abide by the laws, and you can't carry things that you think will be legal in that country you're going to. Because what's legal here in North America will be illegal in other countries, and vice versa. So the laws vary in each country you go to, I guess. It's very complex, very complicated issue. But Britt Griner, apparently, unfortunately, she got caught carrying that drugs. But she must have known that it was illegal to carry that stuff in her bag or her brief bag in her or her suitcase, whatever it is, sporting bag. Must have known that's illegal. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's the laws of Russia. And her attorneys, they're Russian too. They couldn't get her out of the mischief. But
Tell me what I've done to you. I just don't like you no more.
Huh?
From writer-director.
Jeez. Okay, get out of there. Okay, gotta pause that for a minute here. Gonna get a copyright strike on me. Well, that's okay. I'm streaming anyways. Even though nobody's watching me. All right. So the Russian court denies her rights. And I don't want to play the video because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So it's from Google and all those things. So I think the NBA season has come on the way. And what's Kevin Durant doing these days? What's happening to him? Well, so playing for the Brooklyn Nets, and, Kyrie Irving and all those players. What's up with LeBron James with Los Angeles Lakers? I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with the NBA, which I should. Just haven't had the time to do it. Okay, we're past 15 minutes, and I think we're going to end this live stream there. So, it's all for sports. Take care.